morning, everyone. It's November the 28th, 2023. As you can see by my previous video, alarms and the homeless there, we had a pretty sort of an eventful night last night, and I want to go on more on it. I put up the video just to briefly show you what was actually transpiring last night in the building here. It does, and this is why the homeless are actually putting people in harm's way. And as I've always said, we don't hate the homeless, but it's their behaviors that are causing so much trouble down here. And it's getting to the point that someone is going to end up getting seriously hurt if nothing is done. And I want to just explain the video a little bit. As you can see where I was walking through, I was showing you where the first man was lying, near where the broken bicycles were. And he's not supposed to be there. And then as I tried to go through the door to get through the building, I open it up and I find a drunk man there swearing, cursing, and he looked a little aggressive, and he was just drinking away. And you could just smell the beer all over the place. And of course you saw the puddle in front of the apartment door. So with the fire alarm going off, if someone came out of that apartment door unaware there's a puddle there, that would be a good thing to slip in and get seriously hurt on your way of trying to get out of the fire, if there was a real fire in the building. Fortunately, last night there was no fire. But then, of course, I went up further and I just showed you the different areas, and I went up the other stairwell, and there was 3 people up the other stairwell that were blocking as well. As well as, of course, you saw the bananas up there, so that would be on the landing. So that'd be a great thing to slip on, too, and get hurt in the middle of a fire while you're trying to get out. And people lying there, trip over them, again, you get hurt. Now, it's got to the point where I've been here for a number of years in the building, and this has been a thing off and on, where they come in and they pull the fire alarms on us, and of course it's a false alarm. There's no fire. And sometimes it can get really bad. Other times it's got to the point where people are actually ignoring the fire alarms now. So if there was a real fire, people are just going back into their apartments because they know it's most likely a false alarm, because it's so usual to have this happen. But this last year, since we've got the new fire alarm system it hasn't been happening as much, and over the summer it's been quite quiet here until things started speeding up in the fall, and they all started coming in and looking for the dealers and everything else in our social buildings here. And so this is a huge problem that we're having right now. They even broke the door, as I showed you. The lock was broken on it, so they can just walk in right from the street as well, which the dealers love, because their clients can just come in and out. And of course, social housing is very easily the easiest target. And we have a lot of social housing down here. And of course, we're always talking about building social housing and more affordable housing. Well, this is why the builders don't want to build social housing and for the homeless. And that's because of the way the buildings are and what we're experiencing right now. So just trying to show you, give you a better idea of what we're experiencing down here. However, I've been trying to do the best I can. I've been in the building for several years. I have been in a couple of fires in this building as well, and that was interesting. And they were a couple of actual fires, and the firemen, of course, were called, and they were running back and forth, and of course, going up, living on one of the upper floors, I did smell smoke. I thought I smelled smoke, and went to go out down the stairwell to find the smoke rising from the bottom and coming right up at me. And so I thought, uh-oh, better go down the other stairwell. And of course, as I'm coming out, some other people are finally making it out of the apartments, and they're coming my way, and I had to turn them around and tell them to go out the other stairwell. And I didn't want them running straight into the smoke. And so this has been a real problem. And, at that time I was banging on the doors even, trying to make sure that people were getting up and out of the building and safely as possible. And, of course, again, having been a security guard, that was part of my job as well. So it's just instinct now. I just do it automatically, and I automatically check for my neighbors. So that's why everybody appreciates me in the building. So I wanted to give you a bit better idea. But the problem is, it's like, and it's just not here in Lower Town only. It's across the city with the social housing. So if you think that you're the one that doesn't have this problem, anyone who has social housing in any ward across the city has this problem. And it's getting worse because the drug dealers and the homeless and those that are next to homeless that do have some sort of housing are the targets of the dealers. And their clients are all in these buildings. And it's easy to get to these clients because they're very vulnerable. Like, I've got a number of seniors like myself living in this building. Now, I'm not in too bad shape. It took me a while to get back after last winter being in the hospital there and having to have my knee drained of that infection for my knee to get better. But I'm getting up and around much better. But that's thanks to my service dog, Heidi, of course, because she's my exercise partner and she takes me for the walks. So I get my exercise, so I keep in shape as much as possible. So thankfully to her, and I know I can get up and down the stairs easily with her if I had to, but I am finding it easier at least to get up and down the stairs than when it was. But we have some seniors in here that are on tortoise mode, literally. So for them to get up and down the stairs, because we don't have an elevator in the building, and of course you don't want to be in an elevator in the middle of a fire, and for them, they could get knocked over very easily. People rushing down the stairs or rushing up the stairs. And of course, you run into the firemen. And I wouldn't want to be running into the poor firemen who got a hose trying to come up. And I'm trying to come down. And whoops, there I go. I just slipped on the banana. And he's coming up. And oops, sorry, fireman. I just gave you a black eye. Because I just went right off my feet. And up went my feet. And bang, I got him in the face. And so this is... And this is what I would find terrible to have happen, So it's putting everybody at risk, literally, because this is a catastrophe, a tragedy that's just waiting to happen. And I probably got a lot more to say on it, but I just wanted to give you a little bit of an idea of what we're facing down here. And we have our fire codes. And this is what they were ripping off the walls, was what I was showing you on that piece of paper. Those are the fire codes. The hallways, the stairwells all the stairwells are to be clear of anything so that we can get out in case of fire. And yet we cannot get out. And people don't even want to come out of their apartments because they know they're going to be walking over top of these druggies lying in the stairwells. So that's another problem. So if something really serious happens, how many people are going to make it out of the building? How many casualties could we possibly have? And things like that, and the firemen have been pretty decent. Thank goodness we have them. They respond very quickly. But why should they have to respond to a false alarm? It's just as bad as what 911 is experiencing right now, with people calling the emergency number when they should be calling the non-emergency number as well. So we have a lot of problems to deal with today. And again, this has just been really revved up since the pandemic. It was somewhat bad before, but it was a little more it was more on the controllable side a bit, but now it's just completely out of control. So I'm going to leave it there for today, but I just wanted to give you an idea of what we're experiencing down here. But it is Lower Town right now is like you've got the druggies all over the place, and you're being stung. It's like wasps are coming out from somewhere. Well, where are they coming out from? Well, the main nest is here, down in Lower Town. And this is where they're all lying. You've got the druggies, you've got the dealers, you've got everybody. So they're just spreading out across the city. And they're stinging everybody. And you're looking at, well, where's the pest control? Pest control, help, we need some help. And it just seems to be going around in circles and no one's helping. So again, everyone, please take care, be safe, and watch and be aware of your surroundings. Okay? And we'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.